Welcome to Daily Papers, the podcast where we break down the latest and most interesting research into bite-sized pieces. Today, we're looking at a big question in the world of AI. You have all these different large language models, or LLMs, like ChatGPT and Gemini. How do you know which one is actually better?
It's a huge challenge. You could have humans read and rate thousands of AI answers, but that's incredibly slow and expensive. So a popular solution has been to use one powerful AI to act as a judge for other AIs. They call this LLM-as-a-Judge.
Exactly. It's like asking a very experienced professor AI to grade the homework of a student AI. It's faster than using humans, but it comes with its own set of serious problems. This is where a new paper from the University of Wisconsin-Madison comes in, with a title that really makes a statement: Time to Impeach LLM as a Judge.
Impeach. That's a strong word. What's so wrong with having an AI act as a judge?
Well, the paper lays out 4 big issues. First, it is ridiculously expensive. The researchers point out that using a top-tier model like GPT-4 to evaluate 100,000 answers could cost you around $4,000. You have to pay for the service every single time you ask it for a judgment.
That adds up fast. What else?
Second, they're not always reliable. An LLM might say it's judging based on a certain set of rules, but its output can be inconsistent. It's a bit of a black box. You get a score, but the reasoning can be mysterious. Third, they're inflexible. If you want to change one tiny detail in your grading rules, you have to rerun the entire expensive process from scratch.
And I'm guessing the fourth problem is the one we hear about a lot with AI: bias.
You got it. These models are trained on the internet, so they pick up our human biases. An LLM as a judge might prefer an answer that's written in a certain style, or one that uses emojis, or it might even have subtle gender biases regardless of which answer is factually better.
Okay, so the current system is expensive, unreliable, inflexible, and biased. Not a great report card for a judge. This is where the impeachment comes in. What's the alternative?
This is the really clever part. The researchers propose a new system they call PAJAMA. That's P-A-J-A-M-A, which stands for Program as a Judge for Automated Model Assessment.
PAJAMA. That's a cozy name for such a disruptive idea. How does it work?
Instead of asking it which of these 2 answers is better, you ask it, can you write me a small computer program that can tell me which of these 2 answers is better?
So you're not asking it to be the judge, you're asking it to write the rule book. You're getting it to generate the judging logic itself as code.
Precisely. It generates a short program, say in Python, that contains all the criteria for what makes a good answer. And once you have that program, the benefits are huge.
Let's hear them. I'm guessing cost is a big one.
Massive. You only have to pay the AI company once to generate the little program. After that, you can run that program on your computer to judge millions of answers, essentially for free. The paper says it's about 3 orders of magnitude cheaper.
3 orders of magnitude means 1,000 times cheaper, right? Can you give us an example?
The paper does. In one evaluation, the old LLM as a judge method cost about $183. The PAJAMA method cost 5 cents.
$183 versus 5 cents. That is an unbelievable difference. Okay, what about the black box problem?
Solved. Because the judge is now a piece of code, it's completely transparent. You can open the file and read the rules. You can see exactly why it's scoring something as good or bad. It's like the teacher finally showing you the exact grading rubric. And because you can see the code, it's also flexible. If you don't like a rule, you can just go in and edit the program yourself.
That's a game changer. But what about making the judgment itself smart? A simple program might miss the nuance that a giant LLM has.
The researchers thought of that too. They don't just generate one program. They generate a whole committee of them. They prompt the AI to create different programs, each specializing in one area.
Like a panel of expert judges?
Exactly. They have one program that just checks for good structure. Are there headings and paragraphs? Another one checks for relevance. Does it answer the question? Then there are others for readability, for factuality, for safety, and importantly, for bias.
So you have this team of little code judges, each with a specialty. How do you combine their scores?
They use a smart statistical method to aggregate the judgments from all these different programs. It learns which of its little program judges are more reliable and weighs their opinions accordingly to produce a final, robust decision.
So the big question is, does it actually work?
how does Pajama stack up against the old, expensive method?
The results are pretty stunning. Beyond the massive cost savings, it's incredibly effective at reducing bias. Compared to a powerful LLM judge, Pajama was over 15% more consistent and reduced the rate of picking a biased answer by nearly 24%.
That's a significant improvement in fairness. But does it judge quality as well?
Yes, and in some of the most challenging tests, the models created using Pajama's judgments actually performed better than the ones created with the traditional LLM as a judge, all at a tiny fraction of the cost.
So to sum it up, instead of a single, expensive, biased, and mysterious AI judge, this new Pajama method uses AI to create a whole team of small, transparent, and cheap program judges that you can run yourself.
That's the core idea. It turns the evaluation process from something you rent into something you own. It's a clever way to use an AI's strength, which is writing code, to sidestep some of its biggest weaknesses.
It seems the authors may be right. Maybe it really is time to impeach the LLM as a judge and let the programs take the bench.
Thanks for tuning in to Daily Papers.